guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a tutorial. It's been a while since I've done a tutorial and I saw somebody named Sophia Carolina. I'll go ahead and put her YouTube channel in the cards right here, that little white thing. Click that and it'll take you straight to her. But she did just a simple basic eye tutorial and I thought that was really great. And for the holidays, I don't know, it might be nice to just see how to do something a little bit different than what you're used to, but completely achievable, nothing crazy. So that's what we're gonna do today. And if you'd like to see how I get that done, please keep watching. Okay, so now we are front and center here. You're going to be able to see my eyelid. That is the purpose of this, right? I'm going to use the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette for this. I went ahead and chose this palette because it has some great transition shades in here, some darker shades to deepen up the crease, a nice black, a matte black that you can use for eyeliner. If you don't have this palette, that's okay. There are so many other palettes that will work. At the end of this tutorial, I will just give you some ideas and maybe you have those, maybe you want to go out and get them. Right off the bat, Makeup Revolution basically ripped off the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette and it is way cheaper. So I'll go ahead and put that right here so you can see it. If you want to try that out, then go for it. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this tutorial. The first thing that you want to do when you are doing your eye makeup, whether it's a simple eye look or something super intricate, you want to prep your lids. You want to prime them. You can use your concealer and then set that with a powder, or you can use an eyeshadow primer that's specifically formulated to do the job of holding onto your eyeshadow and making your eyeshadows easier to blend. But keep it simple, just put it all over your eye. Make sure though you always set it with a powder. I promise you guys, your eyeshadow is gonna last much longer and it's going to be so much easier to get the job done. Let's go ahead and grab a big fluffy brush. This is the Morphe M441. I use this in basically every eyeshadow look that I do. I'll list everything that I use in the description box down below, so don't go crazy trying to take notes. It'll be there for you waiting. So the first shade that I'm gonna jump into is the transition shade. And so it's important that you understand basically the whole eye area when I'm talking about this so you can replicate this yourself if you're doing it along with me. If you guys are advanced makeup artists and you're watching this, this might be a little bit redundant for you, but this video is really meant for beginners. This is your eyelid, yes? I always suggest having your brows done first because you're going to use your brows as basically reference for where you're going to place your shadow. Your brows should end, and I did do a brow video which I'll put in the cards as well. You can click that if you want to see how I do my brows, but from your nostril to the outer corner of your eye, that's where the tail of your brow should end, and that's where your makeup should end, especially for something super simple. Ooh, sorry it's so bright. Now your transition area, so this is your lid space, yes? This is your crease. Sometimes it's more defined depending on your eye shape. Sometimes you just have to create one. It's usually about right in the middle of your eye. Then right above that natural crease is what we call the transition area. And then above that is your brow bone. This is your lid space. And then this is often referred to the inner corner or tear duct area. And then of course this would be your lower lash line. So we're gonna use this peachy shade right here in that transition area. And we're going in with that Morphe 441. And then just go ahead and do windshield wiper motions back and forth. It might feel like you're going really, really high. And this might take some practice to kind of figure out exactly where the placement of that transition area is. But if you keep your eye open, I find that sometimes that's easier because you want to be able to see it when your eye's open. Does that make sense? I hope so. And then of course just leave this area blank up here because we will do a brow bone highlight. Just to give you an example of other transition shades are maybe the tone of what you plan to do in your crease, but a lighter version of that. This is a good transition, this is a good transition, this is a transition shade, colors of that nature, your medium shades. Does that make sense? Okay, so next we're gonna go in and start deepening up our crease, and I'm going to use this shade right here to do so. And I'm gonna go ahead and stick with this Morphe M441 brush, just slightly lower down with that brown shade. You're gonna wanna make sure that you're still seeing that lightest peachy shade. Kind of do these circular motions to blend everything out. Now, if you found that you lost that transition shade, that initial one, you can go back and add a little bit more. It's not a big deal. So we're gonna switch up our brushes now, and I'm gonna go in with the Mikasa E310 pencil brush. I love this brush for so many things. Just since we've already kind of concentrated in that crease, we're just gonna go right in through here now with this same color. So far we've only used 2 shades of eyeshadow, and wherever you put your brush down first is where you're going to get the most amount of color payoff. So for this and creating this look, I want to keep the most amount of color on the outer part of my eye, and then we will deepen up the lash line. So I'm gonna place my brush down by my lash line and just kind of like shimmy it back and forth and go right up to the crease and connect it with our transition area. And now I'm just kind of blending towards my nose on the lid, if that makes sense. And now I'm just gonna kind of keep repeating until I get the desired level of darkness. Okay, so now that we're on, we're gonna go ahead and just kind of blend everything. So we're gonna go back in with our M441 brush that we did in the beginning, and we're just gonna do those circular motions combined with windshield wiper motions just to make sure that everything is blended flawlessly. I'm gonna go in with this black shade. Just run it along the lash line on the outer portion right here. And then once you've gotten most of that color deposited onto the lash line, just shimmy it up. Just kind of have it meld into the other shadows that you have placed. Typically I'll use like a flat definer brush, like if you look in any of my other tutorials, but I wanted to keep my brushes to a minimum to really show you guys how you can achieve a nice look with the least amount of products. Okay, so now for our lower lash line, I'm gonna go ahead and start with that black, and we're basically gonna repeat what we just did on the top lash line, but now we're gonna do it underneath on the lower lash line. And we're keeping with the Mikasa E310. Just has this nice pointed tip at the very top of the brush, like a bullet brush. And then we're gonna kind of wipe away that black. You can do it on a paper towel or your pants, like I'm doing right now. They do make a color switch if you go onto Sephora.com and put in color switch. I can't remember who makes it. I have it, it's in my kit. I don't really know that it's super necessary, but whatever. Now we're gonna go back into this peachy shade that we used as our transition color on our upper lid. And we're basically gonna go right under the black and just smudge that out. And the biggest thing is you just wanna make sure you're connecting your shadow at the corner here and up into the crease. So now we're gonna go into this brown shade that we used in our lower transition area and crease, and we're gonna go right underneath that black, just connecting the corner here as well as the crease. And then finally, we're gonna take a clean brush. I'm gonna use that M441 again, wipe it nice and clean, and we're just gonna blend everything out. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and repeat the same exact steps that we did on the other eye. I am gonna film it, but I'm gonna move a little bit faster. We're gonna start off with the Morphe M441. We're gonna go into that peachy shade in our transition area. Then we're gonna go into that brown shade with the same brush and just move a little bit lower. Switch our brushes, same shade, starting at the lash line and shimmying up. deepening up that crease area. And then dragging and blending inward. Now we're gonna go ahead and blend. You see how fast this is when we're just going? I'm kind of like doing a V. If that makes sense. Now we're gonna take that Mikasa E310, dip it into the black, run it along the lash line, and then just kind of smudge it out and blend it up. Just make sure you're even. Okay, lower lash line. Wipe it off. Go into that brown shade that we used to deepen up our crease. And just kind of go right underneath and blend. Connecting corner. And just making sure you're even. So you could stop here, put on your mascara and call it a day if you wanted, or you could highlight. I'm gonna go ahead and just highlight the inner tear ducts right here, the inner corners, and my brow bone. You can go in, if you have a palette like this, you can use the white shade that's in here, or if you have a face highlighter. I figure, you know what, it's kind of fun since we're moving into the holidays to pop a little bit of shimmer on. I'm gonna go ahead and use this Anastasia Glow Kit. It's their Sugar Glow Kit. It's part of their holiday collection. If you want, you can stick with, as long as you're sure that you have completely gotten it nice and clean, you can stick with this Mikasa E310 brush. Just to be clear, I am an affiliate with Mikasa. I'm not talking about it because I am an affiliate with them. That basically means I have a coupon code. I make a very small commission off of any purchases. I talk about the products that I really like, but I want to be completely transparent with you guys, so just know that. But I do love this brush. So anyways, that being said, for brow bone highlight and inner corner highlight, I'm gonna use the lightest shade right here called Marshmallow. And just dip the very tip of the brush in the, when I say just so you can kind of see, like, boop, boop, boop. You don't want to be like rubbing it in there. Just when I say tap off the excess, just a little. I want the lightest point of my face to be like right at the arch, the top of my arches. So that's where I'm gonna place my brush first. Focus on me, focus on me. So put it right there, and then just drag it across. And then we'll go into the inner corner as well. And then I just run my finger across it because I don't want it to be too crazy of a highlight. And there's that. We'll go ahead and do the other eye now. Oh girl, I need a tweeze. And if you guys don't want to spend like a ton of money on highlighters, there are some gorgeous highlighters from the drugstore. And I just posted a video called my top 10 under 10. I'll put that right here. You can click it and check out some of those items. I believe I have 2 highlighters, and they're obviously under $10. I believe one is 6 and one is 4. I do absolutely love this Sugar Glow Kit though. I think it's so pretty. I need to even, is this side not as smoky underneath? Am I losing my mind? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just apply some mascara. You could seriously, just with this basic eye look, you could do so much with it. You could pair it with a deep red lipstick. You could do a much bolder eyeliner. You could do a little bit of glitter for New Year's Eve. In fact, I think when I go to film my Sephora VIB haul, I'm going to just add a little bit of glitter liner, so you can check that out whenever I post that. But it's such a I don't want to say basic and have this like negative connotation, but it's so, you can do so much with it. It's so versatile. That's the word I'm looking for. It's so versatile. I don't know if you can see where I messed up, but the mascara got like right under this lower lash line. I don't know, can you see it? But I like to use this brush with a little bit of powder, but it's important you wait till the mascara has dried, or else you're just gonna drag it around all over your face. All right, so I have picked out an array of different eyeshadow palettes that you can use if you're just starting off and you want to be able to do something similar to what we did today. But of course, you know, we used the Shade and Light palette today, and this retails for $48. If you wanted something maybe a little bit less pricey, I also really love the Pure Cosmetics Soiree Diaries. This is $34, and you do get some shimmery foil type shadows as well in here, which is kind of a nice option if you don't want all matte. Then I have the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, which I'm obsessed with. I want to say this is $35, but I mean, this is just kind of fun if you think you might want to start kind of experimenting with some color. And you do have some nice transitions through here, darker color shades that you can use as eyeliners. Then I also picked out this Tartlet Pro To Go palette. I actually really enjoy this palette. It was $23, and yes, it's small, but it really does pack a punch, and it really makes your job super duper easy. And then finally, there's the Morphe 350 palette. You have a variety of transition colors, brow bone colors, some shimmers thrown in there, and some deeper shades to use as eyeliners if you would like. I believe I spent $22, and you can get it, I think, at Ulta now. But I'll link all of these items in the description box below. So if you want to go and get them, they'll be easy for you to find. And with that being said, I think this video has come to an end. So I really hope that you enjoyed it. I thought it was just something fun to do for you guys if you might want to follow along and the other tutorials seemed a little too much for you. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up so I know. That helps me a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do that before you leave, and follow me on my other social media. That way, you know, we can be friends. And lastly, hit that notification bell so that you know every time I upload a video. All right, you guys, thanks so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.